2024 Bentley Continental GT Azure Review. Taming Shenandoah's curves in ultimate luxury. They say money can't buy happiness, but it can buy you a twin-turbo V8 powered cruise through Shenandoah National Park in a Bentley. I tested the 2024 Continental GT Azure to see if it's worth the splurge. To properly test a car that claims to be the pinnacle of grand touring, you need the right setting. So I pointed the Continental GT Azure's imposing grille towards Shenandoah National Park. Just about an hour and 20 minutes outside the DC Beltway, these winding Virginia backroads are the perfect proving ground for a machine like this, a mix of tight corners, sweeping vistas, and the occasional deer daring you to test those brakes. Throw in a twin-turbo V8, a cabin crafted by artisans who probably dream in leather and wood, and the 2024 Bentley Continental GT Azure promises a recipe for automotive nirvana. Of course, it also promises a hefty speeding ticket if you're not careful. This is a car that whispers sweet nothings in your ear while subtly urging you to unleash its inner beast. So, what's the secret behind this Bentley's charm? Effortless power, the handcrafted luxury, or the way it devours those Shenandoah curves like a famished aristocrat at a buffet. Let's delve deep, shall we? We're about to find out if this British cruiser can truly deliver the best of both worlds, without leaving me wishing I'd invested in a radar detector and maybe a bail bondsman. More than just a pretty grille, this Bentley bites back. Bentleys are all about Grey Poupon and fluffy lapdogs? Think again. The Continental GT Azure is here to rearrange your expectations. Of course, the 2024 GT Azure boasts an interior slathered in the kind of leather that probably comes with its own pedigree papers. But beneath that soft interior and sculpted hood lies an engine that's ready to rumble. We're talking about a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8, a snarling, hand-built masterpiece forged in the fires of Bentley's legendary Crew Factory. This British brute pumps out 542 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque. All that grunt is channeled to all four wheels through a lightning-quick 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. Mash the go pedal, and this land yacht will hit 60 miles per hour in under 3.5 seconds. That's just a hair's breadth behind the monstrous W12 speed model and more than enough to rearrange your face and your passengers' hairdos. Keep your foot planted, and the scenery will start to blur until you hit a top speed of 198 miles per hour. Just, try to find a place to do that legally. I sure couldn't find one in Virginia. But this isn't just about straight line speed. It handles excellently, thanks to Bentley's electronic sorcery. Talking about a dynamic ride system that anticipates corners, actively fighting body roll to keep this hefty coupe planted. It's the 3-chamber air suspension, which lets you dial in your ride from wafting on a cloud to surprisingly track capable with a twist of a knob. And those Shenandoah switchbacks? The Continental GT Azure devoured them like they were canapes at a royal wedding. Credit goes to the active 48-volt anti-roll bars, the tenacious all-wheel drive system, and the electric power-assisted steering that, while lacking the raw feedback of a track-focused machine, provides the accuracy needed to confidently place this big Bentley on even the most demanding roads. Old school feel with a whisper of the future. Into the driver's seat, and you'll instantly notice the staggering attention to detail. It hand-stitched patterns and diamond quilting adorn the seats, dash, and practically every other surface. Whispering tales of old-world craftsmanship. Center stack is a refreshing change of pace from everything in modern cars, as it offers both a screen and mechanical dials with its rotating design. It's a study in elegant simplicity, with polished, knurled knobs and those classic organ stop air vents that are as satisfying to use as they are to look at. It's like stepping back in time, but in the best possible way. A truly bespoke interior, and then there's the wood. It's where Bentley truly flexes its bespoke muscles. You can choose from a range of veneers, from traditional straight grain to more contemporary open core finishes. Hell, they'll even match the wood to the deck of your yacht if you're the yacht-owning type. Which, let's face it, if you're buying a Continental GT Azure, you might be. But even in this haven of old-school charm, technology has made its presence known. Occupants are treated to the modern comforts you'd expect, like massaging seats that'll knead away the miles. Adaptive ambient lighting that sets the mood, and multi-zone climate control to keep everyone happy, even on a spirited drive through Shenandoah. The Achilles' heel. Now, about that tech. A 12.3-inch rotating infotainment system sits front and center, offering the usual array of features: sat-nav, radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. And your choice of a Bang & Olufsen or a truly magnificent Naim sound system to make those mountain roads sing. But here's the rub, the system feels a generation behind. It's not bad, mind you. Just dated. In a car that's otherwise so meticulously crafted and cutting edge, the clunky interface and less than snappy response times are a letdown. It's like finding a rotary phone in a spaceship. From that mile-long hood to those muscular hips, the Continental GT's hood stretches out like it's got somewhere important to be. A powerful statement of intent. The roofline swoops back, a graceful arc that terminates in a tightly drawn rear deck. It's a shape that manages to be both elegant and athletic. But don't let that elegance fool you. Those muscular rear haunches, housing bespoke, Azure-specific 22-inch wheels, hint at the power lurking beneath. The elegantly sculpted taillights around the back are a subtle counterpoint to that bold front end. A discreet spoiler adds a touch of sportiness without shouting about it because, you know, this is a Bentley. And then there are the twin exhaust outlets, finished in polished metal that gleams. It's all very refined and very British, but with a hint of barely restrained aggression that keeps things interesting. It's a design that's aging gracefully. The price of admission, let's be honest. Owning a Bentley isn't about being sensible. It's about making a statement. And the 2024 Continental GT Azure? It's a statement that requires a rather large bank account. The Azure badge signifies that this particular Continental GT sits near the top of the pecking order, with a starting price of around $300,000. But that's just the beginning of the financial fun. Once you start ticking those option boxes, and you will, things get pricey, fast. We're talking about extras like the audiophile-grade Naim sound system, because why settle for anything less? A suite of advanced driver assistance tech that really should be standard at this price. Contrast stitching, naturally, and personalized wood veneers, because, again, why not? A well-equipped Continental GT Azure will set you back at least $330,000, putting it in the same financial ballpark as an Aston Martin DB12 Volante or a Rolls-Royce Dawn. If you can find a clean one, that is. Final thoughts. So, is the 2024 Bentley Continental GT Azure worth the king's ransom? If you're after a car that puts comfort first but still has a sharpness to it when you want it, this is it. It does everything rather well, like a Swiss Army knife of cars. It's not as raw and engaging as an Aston Martin, nor as cloud-like as a Rolls-Royce, but that's precisely what makes it unique. This Bentley delivers a driving experience that's both refined and thrilling, eating up those Shenandoah backroads as easily as it would glide down Rodeo Drive. You get handcrafted luxury, serious performance, and the undeniable aura of the Bentley badge.